But let's say you've got a man who's in his 40s, married, and he suspects that his wife might be entering perimenopause. And what should he be looking out for? Because I can imagine partners sometimes have more awareness about what's going on
Yeah,
than the
sometimes.
individual. Sometimes, a big sometimes. Yeah.
The thing is, what's tricky about perimenopause is it can be 30 plus different symptoms. A lot of women and say that they don't recognize themselves anymore, whether it's physically, like they look different, like they're gaining weight, their skin is changing, their hair is falling out, or whether it's more of a mental emotional piece. They're more depressed, they're more anxious, like high anxiety is very common. Not being able to sleep is very common. Waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., worried about things that didn't used to worry you or bother you.
Yeah.
So a lot of women will just say, I don't know who this person is when I look in the mirror. Like I don't recognize her. I don't know where she came from. And it can happen slowly or it can happen pretty fast. But finding a doctor who understands what's going on, and there are questionnaires, there's all kinds of things that you can do to try to like dial in, is this what's going on? We could do lab tests, but finding a doctor who knows what's going on and getting help, whether it's in the form of lifestyle techniques, cognitive techniques, or hormones, or the combination, is really important because this is a dangerous time for women. Their depression is up, the suicidal rates are up. Like the women in perimenopause feel like they're falling apart. Not all of them, but many of them.
And would you say, what is the biggest driver of that change right now in terms of like increasing suicidal and depression rates?
It's just those hormones. It's the estrogen going crazy up and down, and then ultimately down, and then progesterone going down, and then to a lesser extent, testosterone going down. It's this big, like I said, it's this big kind of fall off a cliff of those hormones. I think about estrogen as being this invisible shield that women have that is there their entire lives. It's protecting your brain from cognitive decline, from dementia. It's protecting your blood vessels from plaque, so you don't get heart attacks and stroke. Women don't get heart attacks and stroke. They're about 10 years delayed from men because they have estrogen that's protecting their blood vessels. It's protecting your pelvic floor. It's protecting, your bones. But then all of a sudden in perimenopause, that shield starts to kind of dissolve. And by menopause, it's gone.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you have the advent of aging, rapid aging that hits all of the organ systems at one time. And so imagine how that feels. It can be just insanely awful for some women.
And a final Substack I'll mention is you had a Substack titled, "Hi, it's me, your clitoris."
Yeah.
Why did you write that?
Well, that was written from the perspective of your clitoris.
Mm.
And it is a hopefully educational piece about, what the clitoris is, how big it is, how it's much larger than you think. We only see 10% of it outside the body, how it's similar and how it's different from the male genitalia. And then it talks a lot about the changes in pelvic floor, vaginal, clitoral health as you kind of get older, the things you can do about it, what to expect. So it's kind of like I think it's kind of a fun piece, but it was meant to also educate women because I think we don't talk about these things and a lot of women have no idea.
Amy, I want to get into your crystal ball. The world is changing so fast. You've mentioned a bit about the dysfunction, dysregulation, disconnection. Where will we be by 2030?
I think that the technology piece, the AI, all the technologies coming together, that exponential growth curve is going to give us a lot. I'm excited about a lot of the therapies that are coming, a lot of the advancements that we're seeing. I'm excited about that. I'm terrified of the worsening disconnection, the less lack of purpose that many people will have as they kind of get replaced by AI. There are a lot of the things, the disconnection from nature. There's so many things that are great that are coming, but I don't think we talk enough about the things that we're going to be leaving behind.
What do you think is the antidote to that?
I think that as just regular humans, we just need to spend more time, putting our phones down and doing other things, going out. Like I'm a big nature person. I live in the mountains, so I love to go on hikes and I talk to the animals and it's a whole scene. But you don't have to do that. But I do think that prioritizing time away from our devices is something that if we don't do, we're really going to regret it as a society.
Thanks for watching this Beyond Tomorrow clip. If you haven't subscribed yet to our main channel, join us there for conversations that can help you thrive today and flourish tomorrow. We'll see you next time.